I'm going to take you through one of Orchestra's latest features, which is environments. Now, this is a really, really cool feature because it helps you mitigate the amount of infrastructure you manage if you're leveraging any sort of I would say legacy architecture framework like an Airflow, a Prefect, anything like that. And the reason is because to get that to work with multiple environments like dev, staging, or production, you're going to have to spin up these servers 3 different times, right? Every single environment has to be, separate. So you're going to have to spin that up. You're going to have to provision the infrastructure to do it. So in this case, something like a Kubernetes, that's going to cost you money. You're going to be paying AWS. And then, if you're doing like data platform and enabling other people with a kind of like hub and spoke model, every time you want to enable another team, you're going to be increasing the load. And, this isn't even half of it. We've spoken to people that are maintaining so many Airflow clusters, they've actually forgotten how many there are. Now, with Orchestra, it's a lot easier, right? Because at the end of the day, environment configurations, they're just configuration files. So because we are providing the infrastructure to manage that, there's basically nothing to maintain, but you still get all the power. So let's dive into it. We've got this nice little new tab on the side called environments. And all you need to do is press new environment, and then we can create something. So I'm going to have a look at what I've already made. And this is our production environment. Okay, so in Orchestra, you've got 4 actually different types of environment variable you can put in: strings, integers, and booleans. And then, of course, an integration. So you might want to have like an environment variable that's called your environment name. So like something like production. If you're triggering jobs in other bits of software, so like Coalesce, then that sort of value you use to trigger that might be a number. So in that case, you'd use an integer. And then obviously, if you've got, a staging database or like a dev database, then, you're going to create a connection for that in Orchestra. And they're going to be 2 separate connections. So, you would want to say, right, this is my production DBT connection, for example. And that's really it, right? The only thing to note is that when you do create another environment, you've got to make sure that the environment variable name is exactly the same. So similar to how you would do it in like, your Git provider or AWS. So maybe we say, actually, I don't want to test it in my DBT Postgres for staging. I want to test it with our new US format, right? And yeah, that's pretty cool. And, the other thing which is nice is that if you look at your team, you'll see that different groups can sort of do different things. So, an account viewer, this is Orchestra managed, so we can't edit it. But if we look at this, and I'm going to delete this because I've been told to delete it, but, you can actually add an environment here. So, if you were doing this sort of multi-team approach, you can have different environments for different teams. Some people can edit, some people can be admins. So it's super powerful. And yeah, like if we take that example that we just did and have a look to see what's happening under the hood, all you need to do to access an environment variable, let me just move that over here, is they'll just show up. So if you want to use the environment variable, instead of directly specifying what the connection is, you just press that. And then when we hit save, you'll see what we're doing. So under the hood, instead of explicitly defining the connection ID, we're sort of putting it in the syntax, which Orchestra is going to pass at runtime and then sort of insert in the right value. So yeah, that is a quick summary of environments. Super powerful feature, like can be set up very quickly. And, with this sort of Orchestra approach, you can have this very, very, very lightweight, powerful infrastructure instead of having to spin up and manage, lots and lots of compute and lots of stuff like Airflow servers, just to sort of start having software best practices. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll drop some links in the comments. Let me know what you think.